Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the bottom right side is the purple lightning Kindle. We got rtyneof, or I don't know how to pronounce that one word. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced as one word. Either way, and Spawn on the top left side as the Azure Comet, or Azure Asteroid. I can never remember all the names. We got TouchSpaghet. Either way, this is a 3-base fog warrior map with an airport. We got a port here just to refuel the free black boat. Both sides do have a comm tower up north. It feels like this side is stronger for the southern player and this side is stronger for the northern player. But you can still move units around, but they just do have a longer path. You could try also send infantry this way, but it's not great. You can also send bases down this way. It's really only one base to get down south and does also go through a forest. So it feels like this the weak versus strong side sort of mechanic. Though it's not always guaranteed. You have a recon here. Let's see, Kindle only has infantry, and of course a black boat. And 80 has gone for double recon now. Tank now deployed in the field by Kindle. So she's got firepower. Andy has mobility. And it's recon spotting. So far spotting no infantry units just yet. And we've got another tank by Kindle. Both players have not started capturing the comm tower, but they'll likely start next turn by Kindle. Recon will spot the comm tower, not even started capturing, so he can interrupt it if he so chooses. In fact, with our caster vision, we know that's actually pretty safe. Andy will not have his comm tower interrupted. And will interrupt the capture comm tower. Could try to join and capture this infantry unit so close enough, or could go for a regular capture. And it won't be an RNG of finishing off that unit there, because with the comm tower being captured next turn, right now, plus reduced defense due to the nature of having less health as well. Infantry gets a good strike there, takes out that unit, but already has captured the property. 80 sitting at 14,000, Kindle's at 15,000. ATR push way forward. Tank infantry. Kindle, of course, has gone for ATRs. I've been told that is a rule of thumb. You would want to try to get an ATR out between turn 8, 9, or 10. Because you never know when a battle copper may show up. In this case, there is none. Anti-air pushing down in the middle. Tank infantry. Tank infantry. So Kindle has a decent force here. Remember her day-to-day as well. She gets plus 40% firepower when attacking from urbanized ranges and cities. I always feel like it's a retaliation because, say, if a tank takes a shot into this tank from the city, she can pull, or onto the city, she can pull back that unit, put another tank on there, and counterattack for a severe amount of damage. Initially up here, comm tower is at 10 capture progress, so it's getting constantly interrupted. Got a couple more tanks that could push forward, heading up there. Gets a good strike there. Does not take out the infantry unit there, so we'll get a bit of healing. which may be a good thing since it helps drain a bit more funding from Andy. Just a 3 health infantry unit, it's not going to do all too much. Anti-air tank infantry. Andy does have now a battlecopter in the field. He figured out what an airport was. Kindle is not deployed on any bandit battlecopters just yet. Kindle right now has 17,000 income. Andy has 20,000 and does get a shot there. Capture progress is 10. This recon slowly being whittled down by all the machine gun fire. Tank move on back to the city. Tank infantry. What's up, property? Interior heading down south. Once again. Oh, there we go. And that's a booster strike from the comm tower as well. So that recon probably received like 150% damage. And he still has an economic lead. Tank infantry. You're now the battlecopter here. Good strike on that tank. Kindle does. Oh, there's a tank right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it attacks from here, gains the first strike. Could maybe merge this 3 health tank onto the 5 health tank. Does interrupt the capture there with that infantry unit. Very nice. And this capture is 6 out of 10. Oh, has 10 capture projects completed. And Andy has gone for a Neo tank. So we got some tacking up here. We could potentially see Urban Blight this turn, which would be pretty good to drain some funds against Andy against that Neo tank. Of course, that's with Cast of Vision. Let's get a strike there. Urban Blight and Hyper Repair available. Probably won't see a Hyper Repair. Even after an Urban Blight, probably won't see a Hyper Repair because of after the Urban Blight, everything would be healed up to 9, and if healing up for 1 health, it's probably not that great. It's a global damage where Andy can't really counter. Does get trapped there. There's Urban Blight. Particularly very useful. Going to be hitting the Black Boat and the Neo tank there, so it's going to be draining off a decent amount of funds there. As well hit some various infantry units across the board, and that's about it. Hey, this one's not intentional in this case. Battlecopter, infantry. Getting some strikes there. Infantry moving way forward. Comm tower may finally be captured next turn. Tank infantry. Now this time the Neo tank is going to be purposely repaired. My apologies for my drink open up. That battlecopter does go down. Looks like Andy will receive a boost strike there, damage there, but that's a 3 health tank, and we'll follow up with a good shot there. Does have hyper upgrade available, has to finish off that tank or it'll be 6 health. Got to make sure you can't leave units alive. Take no quarters, just the dimes. A finish with the 1 health infantry units is important. Takes out that 8 health infantry unit there. And that one as well. In fact, well, the hyper upgrade could allow... Nope, that will not aid in capturing the property. There's only 3 capture progress left there. Yeah, hyper upgrade won't really repair all too much. We'll of course give him plus 10% additional firepower and plus 1 movement, plus the plus 10 for activating power and or superpower. So maybe a good idea to have damage reflect onto your units and then pop it, if anything at this time. Could be a good idea to save it. Right now, Kindle, it's hard to tell. Fog of War, this valley will change. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Good strike there. These booster strikes are being very useful. It's surprising how useful Kindle's day-to-day passive. Your opponent has to play around away from properties. And they have to play away around not being on properties of Urban Blight. Which is not always easy. Kindle has a good amount of tanks up here. Kindle right now has 103,000 on the field, 25,000 bank. I feel like hyper upgrade's never enough against Kindle. Probably. I mean, Andy's good at countering Drake, Olaf, and Hawk. The +1 movement's very nice, which also does affect infantry. But in this case, the probably best way you can use hyper upgrade is to charge forward, deal damage, and repair up the damage after from the counterattack damage. Pops the hyper upgrade immediately this turn, so all of his units are at full health, except for this one infantry unit. You're at 9 health. Now he's primarily doing it for the +1 movement range as well as additional firepower. His great strikes there, and Neo Tank able to reach further. And I think as well, there's an Urban Blight available, which will boost up her urban damage bonus to 80% from 40%. And so this tank may just get one-shotted. I can't say off the top of my head. Looks like Andy's doing a good job of keeping units off of properties. He's not doing a full spend there as well because the Urban Blight's highly likely. Only looks like a handful of infantry units that are on properties, so let's see if she goes Urban Blight. Does pop the Urban Blight. I am curious about this as well. Property. Has a very, very good chance of one-shotting that tank. You have to roll abysmal luck roll. And the boost strike will get take out that one unit. Does get trapped there and there. And having the anti-air trapped like that is actually a bit of a problem. But then again, it wasn't being pushed. It got trapped right there, so it wasn't trying to push forward and engage something. That time it did. Battlecopter, recon, artillery, infantry. Kindle ends the turn with 127,000 on the field. Well, Andy will start with just 94. Does have 30,000 in the bank, so there's a lot of viable things he could go for this turn. He could go for another Neo Tank, and I'm pretty sure stealths on this map are not banned. So he could deploy a stealth fighter. Stealth fighter, stealth bomber. I suppose the model of its game is somewhere between, I think it's close to a B2 rather than to an F117. F117 is a fighter, B2 is of course a bomber. So it's technically a stealth fighter, which also can hit aircraft and all that sort, so yeah. Does go for a Neo Tank and a regular tank. Kindle has what a recon there. Ooh, that's actually an important trap right there. Able to finish off that tank there. Neo Tank will have its pickings of which one of these tanks you want to eat. know the regular tanks can take out this tank here. Andy's in a great position here. Kindle doesn't really have anything to stop the Neo tank, and there's a good number of reserve tanks here for Andy as well, which also poses a problem. Right now, only thing Kindle has in this region is battlecopters. Of course, now there is a couple tanks next to a city, so if she somehow clears up this city, she can get a booster strike off of it. And the anti-air is not spotted, so that battlecopter is good as dead as well. So Kindle will get some pretty good victories down here. She's also doing great up here. Andy does have another Neo tank up here, and Urban Blight is soon to be available. Urban Blight is now available, which could allow her to project off the city. What's a regular couple battlecopter shots there? Not sure that was a great idea. I would assume maybe a good idea to take out the infantry unit and get a boost strike on one of these tanks, one-shotting them. But the Neo tank's down to 4 health, which is effectively knocked out, but still poses a no. A 4 health Neo tank can be a 9 health Neo tank. And a 3 health tank here is also could be a 7 health tank. That may have not been a great thing overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So battlecopter can be ranged to battlecopter. But he does need to squeeze out quite a bit extra power charge. Another 13. That was managed to pop it there, so now we got a 9 health Neo tank. Some good strikes there, takes out the recon there. Battlecopter still pose a threat, but there is a full health battlecopter for that, and of course a 5 health anti-air to stop it. Anti-air push down south. Kindle does have a Neo tank back here. And a full fighter deployed up by Andy. And that's the thing as well. I don't know why he went for a full fighter. Kindle has 3 battlecopters, which of course Andy sees 2. Don't believe you can see the 3rd one right here, but I don't like that fighter deployment. Maybe he has a feeling that Kindle went for a stealth? Good strikes there. Takes out some of those tanks. Neo tank pushes forward. Can stop the property here. Out of vision range, but can easily be spotted by this recon. Push to the forest there. Sacks a battlecopter there. Battlecopter, artillery, tank, infantry. Kindle ends turn for 135,000. Andy starts with 116, so he's starting to fall behind. Takes out some of these outlying infantry units. Fighter hitting down south. Neo tank does fall back. You think it needs a fast response down south? Still, that is quite an investment because that's what, 20,000 funds? Yeah, sure, it can get down here faster. I don't know. Yeah, it just seems it's expensive. Right now, there's only 2 battlecopters in the field, so it won't even pay for itself. But it's trying to prevent other damage. I don't know. It's hard for me to estimate that. You may be right about that. The battlecopters are splitting up. In this case, that's good. Kindle's just creeping her way forward. True, there was 3. You are correct about that. Well, no, I don't think he actually saw the one down there. And plus, one of the battlecruisers were pretty wounded. Yeah, I don't know. I think he could maybe better just go for anti-air. Neotink gets a good strike there. Fighter takes out the battlecopter, no problem. 3 health anti-air could... I don't know how much damage the anti-air does to... 3 health anti-air does to a fighter. Probably not great. Yeah, it's reasonable. Plus, at that point in time, it's probably better just to counter a battlecopter for your own battlecopter. And then try to follow up with anti-air afterwards. Like, go battlecopter anti-air. That not only that would be cheaper than a fighter, it probably be a bit more effective. Neotink, tank, and artillery piece. Urban Blight is available. Will she pop it immediately? This Neotink did get sliced up a little bit. Get a booster strike there. Remember as well, this plus 80%, plus 10% from the activating power, plus 10% of the comp tower, so it's a plus 100% firepower strike onto the Neotink in total. And there as well. It's amazing how Kindle's day-to-day passive, this urban terrain strike, it's surprisingly useful. I don't know how to describe it. I'm always surprised how effective Kindle's. It always seems like a CL on paper doesn't do all too well, shouldn't all do too well, but she's actually really good. And I think as well, when it comes to high society, it's not a bad superpower. It's just that Urban Blight is an excellent superpower. Fighter heading back up north, living in the center. May had a feeling that one of the battlecopters went up north. Of course, he does see this one here. And there are 3, so the fighter may be more and more useful as games go on. I still just sort of disagree with it. Battlecopter, infantry. And now do have a hyper repair. That's a lot of power charge there. Neotank takes out Neotank. Boost strike there falls up as well. Battlecopter heading up north, anti-air push on the left. We may see a hyper upgrade this turn. However, there's not too much that stuff that are damaged that can get good value from it. And he ends the turn with 108,000 in the bank. Or starts with 108,000 with 21,000 in the bank. While Kindle ends the turn for 155 on the field and 8,000 in the bank. So she has a pretty sizable advantage right now. Hyper upgrades now available. Maybe try to save it. A lot of wounded units right now, but mostly just wounded infantry units. Fighter pulls back. I disagree with that. Just try to keep it forward. Basically, how I would probably place a fighter is anti-air moves 6 tiles, so make sure it's 6 tiles away from any sort of fog of war tile. Get a booster strike on the anti-air for the anti-air. Now that thing could get repaired on up by the hyper upgrade. Takes out the infantry unit there. Gets trapped. Takes out the tank there. At this point in time, she's not donating power charges to Andy, but I have a feeling there's going to be a hyper upgrade next turn. Fighter's in range either way. Some much needed healing there. Gets a good strike. She has Urban Blight available once again. Takes out that tank. Anti-air takes a good strike onto the battlecopter. Andy's flank over here is basically disintegrated. Nothing much you can do versus a Neo tank, and has a bit of uphill build of all these regular tanks. Andy does have a slight income advantage right now. And this part, what I mean by where the sound player is a little bit buggy, is you've probably been hearing all those repeating sound effects. I wonder if I were to doing that will restart it, fix the sound bug. Good hit there on the fighter. Effectively knocking it out. Neo tank quick goes on down there. Yeah, I think Kindle's starting to run away with the game, taking on the Neo tank up north. Another Neo tank deployed by Kindle and infantry units. Andy does start the turn with 100 or 25,000 in the bank, 94 on the field. Kindle has 165 on the field. Another Neo tank deployed by Andy. Fighter falls back. Falling back to the black boat will make sense. It will get it refueled and a little bit repaired. They don't have to repair all the way. You can always just let your power and superpower to help out with that. Lots of good damage down there. Battlecopter can charge forward once this ATR gets knocked out by the tank. But even then, there's not a whole lot to follow up after that. Charging for the tank to hit the ATR will basically forfeit the tank. And Andy does go ahead and resign this grade, saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.